Okay, lovely. So if we're ready to begin, I just invite you to find a meditation posture that's comfortable for you today. And we're going to start with a short grounding practice, which is going to work through some of our senses. So I'd like to invite you to begin, if you feel comfortable, with your eyes open and just allowing your gaze to widen as you orient yourself in the space that you're in today. So just allowing your gaze to be wide and just grounding yourself, noticing where you are right now. And instead of fixing on objects, just allowing your gaze to notice color, texture, shadows, keeping it as wide as possible. If you're sitting near a window, you might like to gaze out of the window for a moment. And just grounding yourself here today. And then when you're ready, just allowing your eyes to gently close, or if you prefer, just lowering your gaze to a point in front of you. And just taking a couple of moments here to allow the body to settle. And allow the mind to settle away from whatever it is you've been doing this morning. And beginning to sense into the sensation of touch as we notice all the sensations in the body that are calling out for our attention right now. And starting with any pressure points that you can feel where your body's making contact with the surface beneath. And a gentle scan, noticing those areas of pressure, weight, maybe through the feet, up the backs of the legs, into the sit bones. Noticing that contact, and maybe feeling the clothes against your skin as well. And scanning up through the torso, noticing any sensation here, whether you can feel your clothing, maybe through the movement of the breath, if there's a gentle movement throughout your torso. Maybe even some sensations of tension in the muscles, maybe through the back or the shoulders. Whatever's here for you in terms of the sense of touch, just allowing that to hold your attention while we sit here together. Maybe noticing the weight of the arms and wherever they're resting against the body. Feeling the weight of them hanging from the shoulders. Maybe allowing the shoulders to drop a little if there's any tension there. Feeling any sensation around the hands. Are they touching each other, or are they resting apart? they cold or warm. All the variety of the sensations of touch throughout the body, here to direct a wandering mind back to the body, back to this moment. Moving up to the head and the face area, noticing any sensation of touch here. Maybe the air touching your nostrils or your lips as you breathe. If you're resting your head against another surface, sensing into the contact. Maybe if you're wearing glasses, feeling the weight of the glasses resting on the bridge of your nose and behind your ears. And sensing into the whole of the body as one. Just feeling any and all sensations that are here to hold your attention. Excuse me. I invite you now to become aware of the sense of sound in the soundscape around you today. Starting with noticing any sounds that might be close by to the body, within the room that you're in. Noticing how sounds just come and go, all on their own. The sound of my voice, you might be able to hear the sound of your breath. You might be able to hear a slight hum from any devices, or the room might sound completely silent when I'm not talking. And that's all okay. Just allowing whatever's here to be here. And I invite you to expand your awareness of sound to outside of the room that you're in. So maybe the rest of the building. Are there any other sounds that are coming and going in this experience? Maybe the sound of other people moving around, the faint sound of a radio or television, or maybe silence. And once again, expanding your awareness to outside of the building that you're in and noticing any sounds that come and go from outside. Maybe the sound of traffic. Maybe the sound of a dog barking. Whatever's here, just noticing all the sounds coming and going as we rest here together today. Allowing just these momentary experiences to hold our attention here, away from a wandering mind, just for this hour. I invite you now to become aware of the sense of smell. Just noticing if you can discern any sense of aroma in the space that you're in. Maybe from a cup of tea or coffee that's been there before, or some food, or flowers, or maybe there's no smell at all, but it's still possible to pay attention to the sense of smell. So trying to find something. And lastly, moving to the sense of taste. Maybe noticing if there's a slight leftover flavour of anything you've had to eat or drink today. And if nothing at all, then maybe making a note to pay more attention to the next thing that you do eat or drink today and really savour that flavour and taste. And I invite you now to, in whatever way works for you, just bring yourself gently, slowly out of this grounding meditation by maybe introducing some gentle movement into the body, having a little stretch, whatever feels right for you. And when you're ready, just allowing the eyes to open. And we'll just take a moment here before we move on to the longer practice. So if you want to have a drink or move around or change position. Okay, so we're going to move into the longer practice for today. And this is a practice called Exploring the Sense of Self. And I've been listening to a series of meditations by a teacher called Henry Shukman. And this is one of his meditations that I found really interesting and wanted to share with you today. So, once again, I invite you to find a comfortable meditation posture. You might want to change position from where you were before, just whatever feels comfortable for you today. And just if you're ready, gently allowing the eyes to close or lowering your gaze. And this practice is going to be exploring the sense of self, sense of identity in a slightly more targeted way, also in a very kind and compassionate way. I'm looking at three perspectives and seeing what it's like to maybe let go and be free of the sense of self just for a short while we're here together. And as with any meditation practice, if at any time you find it difficult to connect with the practice or with what I'm saying, or if you feel any discomfort, then this is your practice. You can bring yourself back to the breath and the soothing rhythm of the breath, or any sensations in the body for a time, whatever you need to do for yourself. So we're just going to begin by settling once again, settling the body, settling the mind, knowing that right now there's nothing else that we need to be doing, nowhere else that we need to be. And just settling into the physical sensations in the body, feeling its presence, feeling its balance, noticing how the body's always balanced and we rest equally throughout the body. So paying particular attention to the weight of the body, taking a moment to scan through, feel the weight of the feet and the legs, allowing them to soften if you feel any tension, if you can. And maybe allowing them to sink a little deeper into the surface beneath. Noticing the torso, the lower back, the upper back, the shoulders, and feeling the weight of your torso wherever you're resting. Just allowing it to be here, to be present, and to sink a little deeper if you can, just relaxing into the weight of the body. Noticing the arms and the hands. And again, just softening and sinking the weight of the body. And with the head, again, feeling the weight of the head. Noticing wherever it's resting, feeling the weight of it on your shoulders or against the surface beneath. Noticing any tension. And seeing if you can just soften ever so gently. And taking a few moments here to notice the breath in the body. Sensing into its natural rhythm. Noticing the gentle inhale and exhale as we rest here together. Not changing anything, just being here just as we are. Noticing the movement in the abdomen, in the chest, through the nostrils or the mouth. And as we rest here together, just welcoming a sense of peace and a sense of acceptance as we become more attentive to the present moment through the body and through the breath. So, one of the ways in which we know who we are is by identifying with our name. We all have a name. So I'd like to invite you to imagine seeing your name typed on a sheet of white paper in black ink, holding it up in front of you and just seeing your name typed on the paper. And recognizing that it is your name. You know that this is your name. And then I'd like to invite you to imagine a match flame being brought to the corner of the sheet of paper. And as the paper burns away, your name disappears and the sheet of paper is gone. And what does it feel like to have no name? Let's try one more. So I'd like you to imagine your name up in lights, lit up on a dark night, maybe like on the front of a theatre board. You can see your name in lights and you recognize that it's your name. And then gradually, one by one, the lights begin to go out. Letter by letter. And your name disappears into the darkness behind, and you can no longer see it. And how does it feel to have no name? Who would you be right now if you didn't have a name? What's here for you right now, in this moment, as we rest here together? What else is here without a name? So let's try one more. I'd like you to imagine an aeroplane that's up in the sky and writing in smoke, with the trail of exhaust smoke in the sky. And it writes your name in smoke up against the vast blue of the sky. And you can see your name and you recognize it. You know it's your name. And then gradually the smoke starts to fade and your name is slowly swept away by the breeze as the vapors dissipate. All traces of it have gone, and there's just the clear blue sky. Excuse me. And what if the sky were you too? What if you were the sky and not the name? Right now, if your name was totally irrelevant, what would be present here and now? Does it feel like temporary relief? Is there any sense of freedom, perhaps? If only for this little while, just as we rest here together. I invite you now to imagine that you were looking at a photograph of yourself and you're holding it up in front of you, and you can see the picture of your face clearly looking back at you. You can recognize your face. And then imagine the image is submerged in a solvent, in a photographic solvent, and the image just starts to blur and dissolve. And gradually the image is gone. And so, who are you now without an image? As we rest here together, there's experience going on within and around us. There are sounds, sensations, there's movement from the breath. For a short while here together, can we just be this experience? Could this at least be a part of who we are? And the third part of this meditation, I now invite you to take a moment here to just have a scan through the body and see if you can find the place in your body that I'm going to refer to as your center. So it might be in your chest or your abdomen, probably. It could be somewhere else. And it's the part of your body that feels like the center of your identity. Feels like this is who you are. This might feel like a subtle contraction or a gentle tension, like a gripping maybe, or a holding on somewhere in the midriff or somewhere in the chest. Maybe something like a tether that feels like it keeps us being who we are, our center. A slight gentle clenching or gripping, very subtle. Just explore and scan through the body and see if you can detect something along these lines. And if you find it hard to find this center, then that's perfectly okay. Just see if you can find any subtle tension in the body, a point in the body that you would like to pay attention to for the next few moments. A slight sensation of gripping or tension, maybe in a muscle, you can bring your focus to. And I invite you to be with this sensation just as it is, and to welcome it with kindness, and to surround it with warmth and with acceptance and with love. And creating a softness around the sensation. Letting it know that it's safe, protected, it's known, it's seen. And maybe feeling the subtle undulations of the breath moving around it. Gentle, soothing breath. A gentle, soothing rhythm around the edges of your center. And as you tune into this sensation, to this center, with a kind-hearted welcoming, and become aware of the kindness and the softness of your body that surrounds it. And if you can, just see if you have the capacity to maybe soften the grip a little, to maybe loosen the holding on. To let it know that it's really safe to let go and release just for a short while. Let it know it's okay just to soften and let go. Allow it to let go and release. And as we rest here together, just allowing your awareness to open wide to What else is here for you in this moment? The sensations of the body, the sounds around you, the movement of the breath, the whole experience. Becoming one boundless, limitless space of awareness. And notice how the space becomes one field of experience, both within and without the body. And this is who we are. This is who we really are in this moment. This is home. And as you rest here in stillness for a moment, I have a reading that I would like to share with you. It's a Radiance Sutra, number 24, from Radiance Sutras, 112 Gateways to the Yoga of Wonder and Delight, a book translated by Lauren Roche. So this is number 24. This body is made of earth and gold, sky and stars, rivers and oceans, masquerading as muscle and bone. Every substance is here, diamonds and silver, magical elixirs, ambrosia that gives visions, herbs that nourish and heal. The foundation of the planet, immortal magnetic iron circulating in the blood. Every element in you loves the others. Earth loves rain, sky loves sun, sun loves the space it shines through. Space loves everyone equally. In meditation, luxuriate in knowing this deep and simple truth. Every cell is an organ of sense infused with majesty. I invite you to, in your own time now, just being kind to yourself, whatever you need to come out of the meditation. Maybe bringing your awareness back to the sensation of your feet on the floor, feeling grounded. Maybe introducing some gentle movement into the fingers and toes, having a gentle stretch. And only when you're ready, just allowing the eyes to gently open, just taking your time to come back to the space.